Yeah, so I mean, the advantages in doing it in New Zealand is that, you know, if you try and start a business in certain parts of the world, then the police come and take it off you. You know, so I think New Zealand's a pretty easy place to do business. We've got good employment law. You're not allowed to abuse your staff and kind of lock them in dark rooms and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a good policy framework for that. I think on the brain drain, I sort of have a kind of different view on that. I think that people, I'm really big on getting this kind of conveyor of people out of the country as fast as we can, to accelerate the getting them back in aspect of it as well. So, you know, what we, you know, I think people who are most useful are people who have been overseas and worked in these other businesses, and there are lots of opportunities in New Zealand. There's lots of, you know, we just raised $60 million the other week, and we did that out of the US. We just added a director. He's based in California at Xero. You know, I'm on a plane out of the country all the time. I invest in companies in the US and I invest in companies here. We have, you know, if you can get this, we are basically Samoa. You know, you think of ourselves as that in the grand scheme of things. We are 4 million people. So Samoa, with 150,000 people, sits there and says, "Oh, this brain drain thing's a big problem. Everyone's going to Auckland. Taking our smartest people, you know, it's eroding the tax base and all that sort of stuff." The biggest revenue is remittances, which is probably not the way that we want to go. But getting people out and in, when you've got a great place to live in New Zealand, with, you know, clean air, mountain biking, fishing, you know, overseas is actually not very nice, most of it. So if you can get, you know, a lot of it, the big cities, you know, there's heaps that's nice. But people really want to come here. It's a 12-hour overnight flight in a, you know, lay flat bed in New Zealand business class flight from San Francisco. You hop on. You can get people down here investing, building businesses, going back, talent going back, and shipping talent there, pulling talent back. It's I think it's going to happen. So we need to sort of embrace it and make it happen in a coordinated way. I think trying to stop it's a bit futile. And the only way to stop it is make people unattractive for overseas opportunities, which is basically just not educating them and keeping them kind of, you know. So I think we've, you know, it's obviously a problem from a fiscal perspective, but I think that from a how do we build a $1 billion company, you need to be pulling back New Zealanders from overseas. You need to be pushing people out. You need to be, you know, it's out and out and. So I think I think this kind of horrible brain drain sort of thing is, you know, we need to not be Samoa insofar as we are Samoa in terms of being completely subscale and having 2 bread companies and 2 breweries and 2, you know, there's absence of competition in lots of areas. But we need to make sure that we preserve a quality of life and, you know, good roads and, you know, low crime statistics and those sort of things, and those require tax dollars, which requires people paying tax and working here and so forth. So trying to balance that is hard, but I tend to just think, you know, if people want to go overseas, I think they should go and then stay in touch, which they can do now quite easily, and you know, and then you pull them back. So I suppose I'm not really that concerned about it, but if I was just running numbers at Treasury, then I probably would be more concerned about it, because that was my focus, because it is, you know, ultimately it takes tax dollars out, but